You wear my ring. And because of this, nobody is higher than you in this kingdom but who? But me. In your household. God immediately took my head and my face to a household. In your household. Your husband is the God. He's not the God of the house, but he's the God per se inside of that house. You both worship God, but he's the Pharaoh of the house. He's the God of the house. He runs things. At the end of the day, it has to go through him, right? He gets the last say. Because he's the head, thank you, not the God, the head of the household. If Christ is the head of the church, right? Your husband's the head of the household. So he's like the Godhead, thank you, better, the Godhead of the household. That being said, you're the wife, and the two of you became one, and y'all are equal, becoming one, right? And becoming one just means you became one in the flesh, which means when you are in the bedroom and in the flesh, you are one. You become one. Y'all meet as one. But after you're done, please don't. I won't talk about that. I won't think about that. But after you're done with your oneness, then he is number one. He's numero uno. Big decisions got to get passed through him. That being the case, he's like at that level, right? In this house, he's the head of the household. Y'all can have kids, but so nobody in this household, tell his wife, nobody in this household is higher than you, except for me. We are equal when it comes to that, but nobody in this house, anywhere else, is above you, except for me. That's what Joseph, Pharaoh married Joseph. He told Joseph that nobody in Egypt is higher than you except for me, Pharaoh, because I believe I'm God. He had to outline it that way because at that time Joseph knew God, right? So he would turn around and say, oh yes, but God is higher than you. He could have said that and left. Joseph let Pharaoh squash his dream. Because he said, nobody's higher than you. But me. I'm Pharaoh, right? He took the God place away from Joseph. So Joseph, right? Who had been praying the entire time, God sent somebody to save me. God sent somebody to help me, right? And then he went to prison, and then when the baker and the cupbearer came in, he said, God sent somebody to help me. God sent somebody to help me, right? And then when the baker died and the cupbearer went back, he said, don't forget to tell Pharaoh about me. His mind switched completely because he started to believe. Something was said, so he started to believe that nobody is higher than you, Pharaoh. At all. Before they came in, he believed nobody was higher than Pharaoh but God. But they came in, they talked. And the funny thing is, how does your mind change when I tell you my dream? What worried me is that Joseph's mind changed after the butcher and the whatever they are, the baker and the cupbearer told him their dream. Because he was praying. And then he stopped immediately. And not only did he stop, he didn't just stop praying and then come 3 days later and say, okay, tell Pharaoh this. He did, and there's a 180-degree turn. Make sure you tell Pharaoh. So since you said make sure you tell Pharaoh, it's not that God didn't want to rescue Joseph. God sent Joseph communion. A baker and a cupbearer is bread and wine. God was letting Joseph know, I'm still with you. He sends the baker and the cupbearer in. He sends in people that Joseph can interpret the dreams of to let Joseph know, I'm still with you. You still got your gifts. I'm still with you. Right? I have not left you nor have I forsaken you. I'm still there with you. Joseph was praying and they came in and Joseph interpreted them to be a gift from Pharaoh and not a gift from God. And that's why your emotions play such a deep role, because his emotions were wrapped up in leaving. I believe God was saying, stay right where you at and I'm going to work on you. But Joseph's mind was wrapped up in leaving prison because people had done things wrong to him and they were wrong and had done things wrong. Potiphar's wife lied. Of course she did. That's what people do. They're liars. She was embarrassed, so she wasn't. See, he told her, no, I will not let you do this to me. Don't say no to the wrong person. No, I will not let you do this to me. So she grabbed his coat, thinking that I'm gonna make you sorry for saying no to me. So she lied to Potiphar's. What's his name? Potiphar's. And Potiphar's he interrogated Joseph, knew Joseph was telling the truth, and threw Joseph in jail anyway. I think he did it to make a point. Can't be the first time his wife did that. She was too open and boisterous with it. She did it out in the open. They were inside the house, but she did it in the open. She didn't do it under cover of night and quietly. She did it in the open. And then she grabbed his coat. And then used the evidence against him. Of course. So Potiphar's upset, threw Joseph in jail. So Joseph, upset, turned his back on God. You're a deliverer. Of course this is going to happen. It's training. Trust me. So I've been told many times prophetically, I'm a deliverer. It's happened many times. Trust me. It's not a sex thing. It's just a people thing. And they're not lying because they want to. Some people will lie. Like it happened to me where one person, I was in the car with two people, and then as I got out of the car, I was sleeping, and I didn't hear them talk about what they were talking about. I got out of the car, and so these people, as I got out of the car, they called the head of this Bible study and started lying on me to the head of the Bible study, and then the woman caught me screaming at me because I didn't know what she was talking about. So it's a Bible study. That's what people do. They were afraid that I was going to tell them. When I was sleeping and looking at trees, I wasn't paying your mouth any attention. I said, this is what happens when you get in the car that people put you in. I did not do anything. Ma'am, I don't know what you're talking about. Now say it was a Bible study so that you know it's not just in the world. This happened to Joseph in the world. It hurts more when it happens in the church. They call it church hurt. Whatever. It hurt very, very bad. It was terrible. I'm over it. One of those people, I pray for them like every week, and I tell them because they're going through some things. Then I sent their husband a card, because the husband is going through some things. The other person, we went out to lunch and we okay. They don't know anything that I was even bothered by it. Because you're going through things. Of course you're going to lie on me. You don't know if I'm going to tell on you. Or what if somebody say something on you? So you're trying to do damage control by causing me damage. I wasn't even thinking about you. Joseph was not thinking about her. His coat was gone. He's like, okay, why? Because that was a second coat. I hear God now. Yeah, Father. But why are you always trying to put something on my coat? Because they took the brothers took the coat and then they put ram blood on it. And then Potiphar's wife, because he was doing good at Potiphar's house, and he was in charge of everything. And everything was open. They had open doors. So he was going back and forth with them, working things and managing it. If he wanted to, he could have left. But he stayed. He was very loyal. He's a good person. In general, like he's a good worker. And Potiphar kept promoting him because his stuff kept thriving. And people will see. And I always say to myself, they will see that I'm doing well. And they'll also see that their stuff is thriving because I'm here. No, they won't. Never do they see. Ever, never, ever. But they will put some on your coat. I don't want to put blood on his coat. She didn't put blood on his coat. She put leeks and onions. She put leeks. The same thing that the Israelites were complaining about. They're carrying Joseph's body, right? He said, don't leave my body here. You know why he said don't leave my body here? Because the place was filled with sin. And since he had signed himself up to live in Pharaoh's storehouse for the rest of his life as Pharaoh's wife, he made his family come instead of him going out to meet his family, which he knew better than anybody that he actually brought his family into sin and brought his family into slavery. So he told them, don't leave my body in this place of sin. Take my body out with you. Right? Jacob didn't say that. Joseph did. As they left, what did they complain about? They're missing the leeks and onions. She took an onion and leaked it all over his coat. I don't know what a leek is. I imagine like that long green string bean thing. I don't know what a leek is. Long green. I see a long green string bean looking thing. I could be wrong. But the best funny is the very thing that they were complaining about not having, when God freed them, And they still have the slavery mindset, right? Because God gave them that miracle. Well, God freed them, right? And they still had the slavery mindset. They start complaining about leeks and onions. I don't care what you are eating with the onion. It's nasty. That's just Jamie. That's just Jamie. I'm sorry. Let me say that. That's just Jamie. I'm wrapped up in the story. That's just Jamie. If you like onions, eat onions. There's certain things that no. I like spicy lunch meat. Like I got this rotisserie chicken from Deli Fresh, and I also get like deli chicken, buffalo chicken meat, but they didn't have the last time, so I got the chicken, rotisserie chicken. I usually get the turkey and I got my own things that like spicy. I like spicy stuff. But most people think I'm nasty because I like lemon juice and lime juice on all my stuff. Or all my meat, I like lemon juice and lime juice. I do. So I'm a weirdo. I'm telling you, if it's a pork chop, I like lemon. If it's ground beef, I like lime. If it's chicken now, I go back and forth with between the lemon and the lime. But the lemon is so cliche that I generally do the lime. So I bought 3 or 4 big bottles of lemon and lime juice. So I'm weird. That's what I'm saying. The onions will probably taste better. It's just that they have a spice that kick that I can't handle. Because my mouth is like super sensitive. But anyway. Their mouth wasn't super sensitive because they would say anything. Why would we give you onions? Your mouth is spicy enough. You just spicy. There's complaint about the fact that they didn't have leeks of onions. Now he ended up in prison before he actually came up as their deliverer into slavery. He delivered them into slavery. He delivered them from the promised land and into slavery. Because when Jacob left Ravenland and went to Canaan, that was the promised land. So what he did was deliver them from that promise into slavery. So they could leave, be upset, and come back out and go back into the promise. Almost 1,000 years of a waste of time. If you ask me, because nobody prayed. I can say this way something nobody prayed. If they prayed and God said, yes, go into slavery, then I will bring you out. And you will go back into the promised land, and I will bring you out. And then you go and walk around the mountain, walk around the mountain, walk around the mountain, walk around the mountain, then mountain. If God said that, then maybe. If they prayed, then maybe. But they did not. You don't hear about Jacob praying, and you don't hear about Joseph praying at all. And Joseph was dying. What did he tell him? He said, take my body out of here. He prayed. He asked no questions. He had no questions. He asked no questions. He just prayed. He just told them. A lot of us doing that. We telling them, but we not asking no questions. We ask God no questions. We ain't praying. We ask God no questions. We're talking to God about it. Ask Jesus about it. If you ask God, He will answer. You ask God with the right heart, I promise you, He will answer. We want to do that. We want to just go straight and tell them, do this. I want this done. Why? Because part of you know it ain't supposed to be done, or part of you know that they're gonna figure out what you did in the beginning, what's supposed to be done. Because you're being selfish. You signed up for a work contract to work in somebody else's storehouse and stay there for life and be married to them. And so then you made your family come. As a result, everybody ended up in slavery. Because ain't no man supposed to be marrying no other man. Because you gonna marry man. They both was married, I think. I don't know if Pharaoh was married, but Joseph was married to Pharaoh's daughter. You a swinger. You a swinger. You married to Pharaoh and his daughter. That's nasty. It's true. I could be married physically in the bed to one person, but that don't mean I'm not married to the other man naturally or in my spirit. As a matter of fact, the second marriage he got was the daughter, because he agreed to take on to be married to the Pharaoh before he actually got married to the daughter. The daughter was the door prize. She's the figurehead. She's what I want people to think that you are married to, but you're actually married to who's the first man you had sex with? Mufasa? Okay, that's who you're married to. Because sex is marriage. Ain't it? Ain't it? You would know that if you was wearing your helmet. Helmet! Get your helmet. Yeah, but she was wearing the wrong helmet, y'all. We can't blame him a whole bunch. We can't blame him a whole bunch. He was wearing the wrong helmet, and it's my contention that I believe that your helmet will change your mind. It changes your thoughts. If it changes your mind, then it changes what? My mind, my will, my emotions. It changes your mind. It'll change. It has the ability, right, to put thoughts before your will, right? And it is your will. It is in your will, right, for you to control what it is that you are thinking before you say it or before you act it out. If that's the case, if what Miss Linda said is true, then the thoughts come right from the emotion center, which is the heart, straight up to the mind, right? The mind, which is the brain center or mind center, processes it. I think she said the cerebellum processes it, and then that is what gets submitted to your mouth or your deeds as a robot, right? To your deeds to actually act it out. But it's up to you, right? It's up to you what you do. So Jesus, right, in his heart, in his emotion center, said, if it be possible, let this cup pass from me. But then it went to his mind, and it got processed. He said, nevertheless, not my will, but thy will be done. So out of his mind and out of his will came, nevertheless, not my will. Out of his will came, nevertheless, not my will. Nevertheless, not my will. His will said, not my will. I said that to my pastor recently. I said the exact words. I'm saying, I'll do this. But in my heart, I don't know if he knows, but I'm saying, nevertheless, not my will. God said, follow you. Nevertheless, not my will. I may want to do this thing. If it be thy will, if it be your will, let this cup pass from me. Holy Spirit actually told me no. He said, it's going to happen. It's happening this way. Follow. In some not so sweet terms. He said, no, it's going to happen. If it happens, it'll happen this way. Do what he says. And he said it like a man, like, I don't know if men growl when they talk a lot, but if it be your will, let this cup pass from me. Nevertheless, I'm telling you what I feel. Nevertheless, not my will. I'm talking about my mind, my will, my emotions, my feelings, nothing more than feelings, right? When my feelings and my will are encased in the same body. So more often than not, they are at the same level, right? They're at the same battle level with me. But if I'm not wearing the right helmet, sorry y'all, I'm not feeling well. If I'm not wearing the right helmet, then what comes out of my will, past my will and out of my mouth, past my will and out of my deeds, what comes out of me, right, will be a direct result of my feelings. My feelings will win over. So I'll be mad at you and just walk up to you and kick you. Sorry! My feelings and my will were fighting, and my feelings won. You think that's okay? Let me give you something else to feel. You think about that? Seriously, you think it's okay to just do things just because you feel them? And you know what we make the biggest excuse we make for that? Bipolar. Sorry, I'm at the other end of the pole today. Are you swinging on the pole? Is that what you're doing? Let me ask you this. Why does your pole always involve you hurt me? You hear bipolar, you think two poles. Bipolar, two poles. But that doesn't make sense because they say bipoles. It says bipolar. So this person is hanging out at the end of two poles. But it's not that we're hanging out, because most people hang out where they're supposed to be, right in the middle. It's not that you don't have a pole. You got a pole. You definitely got a pole. You got a pole. The problem is, it's one pole for all of us, and you are smart and balanced. So you are in your right place. You are in the middle of the pole. Me, Jamie, I'm hanging out back and forth all day long. Rapid cycler, back and forth all day long, right? Being drugged, right? And I'll say the truth by the enemy that I let do it, right? By the enemy I let do this, right? Back and forth between two poles. That's why you hear me say sometimes, Satan the Lord rebuke you, right? Because I'm not saying it for the enemy. You already know he rebuke. He's stupid. You know he rebuke. I'm saying for Jamie. I remind myself, he rebuked in the name of Jesus. I don't have to succumb to my thoughts. I don't have to succumb to my mind. I don't have to succumb to my sickness. I don't have to succumb to anything. I'm still in all these things. I'm more than a conqueror. But I remind myself about God said, put me in remembrance of my word. While I'm doing that, while I'm putting in remembrance of his word, I remind myself about, hey, cut out my mouth, because faith comes by hearing by the word of God. It comes out my mouth and loops right back into my ears. The thing is, when he says, put me in remembrance of my word. And the funny thing is that Pastor Darwin said last night, it's in Isaiah. I didn't know that. He said when God said it, God was saying, when God said it, God was saying that we ought to put him in remembrance of his word, meaning he doesn't need to be reminded. He is not forgetful. He knows his word. But what he wants us to do, right, is take his word and recite it back to him. Take his word and recite the very word that he gives us back to him. As we recite it, we are remembering. When he says, put me in remembrance of my word, we are putting ourselves in remembrance of his word. Put ourselves in remembrance of his word. We're causing ourselves to remember what he is telling us. And when we do that, we not only put ourselves in remembrance, we give ourselves a reason to shout. Hallelujah. We give ourselves a reason to dance because we are remembering what God says. Hallelujah. Satan, the Lord rebuke you. Satan, the Lord rebuke you. I enjoy it. The Lord rebuke you. Hallelujah. The Lord rebuke you. Satan, the Lord rebuke you. I'm reminding Satan, I'm reminding myself, and I'm reminding God about the rebuke king. And I lift God up in the higher. Hallelujah. Because I'm not no longer planting just a tree planted by rivers of water. I take on, God said I become a queen, I take on the promotion. Hey God, and I become when the enemy comes in, like a flood in the spirit of the Lord, when the ascended against him, I don't just have rivers of water. I got floods that overtake the enemy. That's make him succumb. Hallelujah. He not only is defeated when it comes to me, but as a matter of fact, he put in remembrance of the butt beating that he got at Calvary, and butt beating that he's going to get in the end times. By me giving him a butt beating now, because I don't come wielding my own sword, I come wielding Jesus Christ to him. Hey God, he can't handle that. He's too inept. He's too stupid. He's beneath everything. Hallelujah. But he's under my feet. Hey God, thank you. Thank you, Jesus. That's the helmet. That's the helmet I put on. The problem is Joseph put on the wrong helmet. He put on a helmet of Egypt. Because the thing, he had hair. I said, why did he put on a helmet? It looks shellacked. But when I look at things, I see pictures. What he had on looked shellacked. He had a headband around. It looked shellacked. He got bangs. I said, God, why did they recognize him? He got a little bit older. It's been 10 years since I've seen my siblings. You can't tell me that I'm walking down the street, they won't recognize me. I will recognize Tasha. She's dark skinned, and I know she's dark skinned. She's the color of my hair. Beautiful. I recognize my sister. Carl is about as light as Harmony. I recognize my brother. There's no way you could tell me that they should not have been able to recognize him. His voice may have changed. My voice has got a little deeper, I think. I believe, actually. But my face ain't gotten deeper. I've been to Loader Bar and back. I've been on Johnson Street and back. I've been to Loader Bar and back. And I come out with a greater is he that is still in me than he that is in the world. I come out with. I can do all things through Christ that strengthens me. I'm out. But if you see me, we family, you won't recognize me. You recognize me enough to know. And he said right up before them, his voice might have changed. I said, why did they recognize him? He said, because of the makeup and the hair. It wasn't makeup like we know. I hear charcoal. They took charcoal and drew on their face. It was just the way their system was set up. The makeup and the hair. He said, Jimmy, you're talking about people that would eventually walk into become Ephesians 6:10-16. They will walk into the armor of God. He'll eventually wear the helmet of God, the helmet of the armor of God. He was on the line of, he was on the way side of the way. They're walking on the way, though he was on the way side of it. That's why he was standing in a position of authority, and he was just as miserable, and they were standing in a position of slavery and famine, and at least they were happy. Because they stood up for each other, and what's his name, Judah, stood up for Benjamin. And Simeon, they locked Simeon up. And Simeon, they still stood together, and they took care of Benjamin instead of treating him like they treated Joseph. So just as happy being slaves as he was miserable being a governor. How you gonna take a job as a governor unless somebody tell you, and ain't nobody higher than you but me? I'm the God. He say I'm the God, but that's what he's saying. You could be higher than me, but you gonna say ain't nobody higher than you but me? Like you my ultimate supervisor? Like you could fire me here and you gonna fire me in heaven? You must be out your mind. I'll set you on fire now just for saying it. I'm Jamie. Like y'all don't know. I used to fight over stuff like that. That's not Jamie anymore. But I get angry. I gotta bring my anger down. Talk to my emotions about it, and bring my anger down. Don't tell me you're higher. You're ultimate. You ain't the ultimate nothing. You said do you understand when you say you're ultimate? Kings have gotten killed even during in that time for less. He said he was God. He didn't say he was king of Egypt. He said he was God. There was no king of Egypt. There was a god of Egypt and the prince. Whew. That's why Joseph died. Judah went to his grave, right? And Jesus, the King of Kings, came through the line of Judah. Joseph went to his grave as a prince of Egypt. Do you understand? Joseph would never reach king because there was no slot for king. There was prince and God. And Joseph was being trained in the prison, in the pit, in the palace. He was being trained as a deliverer. So he went for deliver. Once he got to prison, he was like, I'm proud of this. He quit. So he stopped being deliverer and immediately became a governor. Governor, come here, governor. He became the governor of Egypt. Ask the Bible. He'll tell you. Ask the Bible. So you're going to realize that the pain that you're going through is just the interview process for the position that God has for you. If you abdicate the training, you abdicate the position. And the world will see you and they will pick you up, but they will put you into a position of their own. It won't be a slide to the right, it'll be a slide down. No matter how it sounds, no matter how the pay looks, because money ain't everything, it won't be a slide to the right, it'll be a slide down. That's why you have people in the music industry with anointings. It's true. And then the worldly music industry, I help you. That woman that sang with Destiny's Child. She got recruited by Destiny's Child, and then Destiny's Child like almost immediately disbanded. But she came from the Kojic church when I was in Kojic. I was like, yes, she's gonna help Destiny's Child. She's gonna be good for Beyonce. No, God ain't saying that. Beyonce'd that, but God didn't say that. Beyonce'd that. Let me get somebody from the church. They'll add some anointing to this, and once some anointing is sprinkled all over it, then right, I'm gonna put her in my storehouse. I'll put her in my storehouse, and once the anointing, I'll take her anointing will be sprinkled all over what we sing, and then it'll go farther. No, because you can't prostitute the anointing. You say, Beyonce, but what did God say?